Hi, I'm Daryl, and this is AJ, and we're doing a nature walk. What we do is we come out here in the nature and just look at things around here. Like you see trees and plants and all these neat things, you know, because what's better than a day in nature? Come on, let's take a walk. That's pretty neat. Wow. I could just spend all day out here. If you look around, there's a lot of trees and nature kind of things, you know, like you see in forests, just kind of nature, you know. It's what some leaves fell from the trees. Wow. Whoa! Do you see this? Whoa! This is a real snake skin, a real snake. Whoa, this is pretty neat. Sometimes in nature, when you look hard enough, you find some stuff like this. Just wow. Okay, so snakes, judging by the scales, it looks like it's the snake skin of a gray rat snake, because it's pretty common in this area. So one pretty neat thing about snakes is that they shed their skins every once in a while because they're growing. Like this one seems like it's a pretty young one, so it was growing and it shed its skin so that it could get rid of parasites and stuff like that. Whoa! Also, one pretty neat thing about snakes is that their organs, they go from the back to the front. They're just stacked in front of each other. So it's like the cars on a train. Instead of having all the organs in one spot like in a human, their organs come one in front of the other just because of the way they're designed. Whoa! Check this out. Oh yeah, this is a good one. This is a deer track right here. And you know that it's a deer track because of the way it is. So, wow, because the warm season is starting now, you'll be able to see a lot more deer out because the mother are going to be raising their young. Wow. Deer are real important in the state of Wisconsin because in deer hunting season, every year, approximately 275,000 deer are hunted every year in the state of Wisconsin. So this brings in about $1.4 billion every year, and that's a lot of money. That's a lot of cash. So deer, one cool thing about deer is that they're on the first trophic level because they're heterotrophs, which means that they're primary consumers. They eat things like plants and stuff like that. So yeah, they're pretty neat. Okay, so I'm going to take a little break and AJ is going to take over for here a little bit. Let's check out AJ.
Hello comrades, I am Alexei Kurkez, and today I find plastic bottle by edge of water. No, that is very bad. Stuff like plastic can enter the water and large fish feed on this and choke, and also because it is in water in direct contact with ultraviolet radiation, chemicals like antimony, BPA and phthalates leak from this and they go into the water and they can affect fish in development. It is very bad for ecosystem.
That's not pretty neat.
I bring you back to capitalist now.
Hey again. Okay, so right here is the next neat thing I want to show you. So this right here, can you see this? It's an earthworm. Earthworms are some really neat creatures. So you see them a lot when you're out in the woods and out in nature like this. They're really important because they're indicator species. That means that they're really sensitive because they take in everything through their skin. So whenever there's pollution or some things that are pretty bad in the environment, you'll know because you'll see a lot of dead earthworms around everywhere. It's because of all that pollution that happens. Speaking of pollution, if you look right over here, there's a water main. This water main, it looks like there's some pretty dirty stuff coming through here. It's pretty dark. It's pretty dirty. So all this stuff that you see coming out of here is going all the way up throughout the environment. It's going to all the trees and all the plants and all of the other really neat things out here. So it's pretty bad. You call this thing, this is called a point source of pollution because it's coming from just one point and not from a lot of different points all over the place. Okay, the next thing I'm going to talk about a little bit out in here in Neature is pollution. Now we know pollution is important because it was the most percent, it was worth the most percent on the AP exam that we all just took a little while ago. Okay, so some things you see out in Neature, some things like pollution. This can right here, that's real bad. And then there's some wrapping paper right around here. Somebody just littered it for no reason. And perhaps the most, maybe the worst thing you see is this is a leftover of a plastic bag. That's disgusting.
I hate plastic.
Yeah, that's right, AJ, you hate plastic. So these plastic bags, things like that, they take over 1 million years to decompose in the environment. That means you're going to be finding this plastic bag. If I come here in 25 years, I'll find that plastic bag sitting right there if nobody moves it. So that's real bad because sometimes things like birds and other different animals, if they see that and think it's food, they'll take it and they'll try to eat it, and then it'll get stuck in their throat, and then sometimes they can even die, and that's pretty bad.
I find flint in nature. A benefit of nature for militants is that you can use flint to make weapons like arrows and small knives for hunting and for fighting for the motherland. It is very flaky because of the way it is formed from compression in layers, and you can grind it away and form an arrowhead like Native Americans do.
Alright, so right there you see it's another point source of pollution. So if something comes through there and into this body of water right here, like if things come through like fertilizer and other rocks and stuff like that, it's not too good for the environment around here. So what can happen is the level of nutrients just goes really high in the water, like in that area, especially around right here you can see really well, and eutrophication happens. And eventually this can lead to algal blooms and hypoxia, which is real bad for the fish because they don't have enough oxygen to live. So it's pretty bad. It's not neat, you know? So like I said earlier, the warm season is starting out again, and there's a lot of cool things out. So if you look right here, these are some flowers. They're lavender flowers, pretty color. So what happens is pollinators come out, things like bees and moths and all those other little critters. So they go around to all the flowers and they stick on these flowers, they sit on these flowers and they pollinate them. So that's an example of mutualism. And mutualism is a type of symbiosis. So what happens is these flowers get the opportunity to grow while the bees and stuff, the pollen sticks to the legs of the bees and the moths and all the other critters, and they go around, they pollinate all the other flowers around here, which is pretty neat. Wow. Sometimes I just come out here after a long day of nature and I just think how much of a beaut this is. It's so beautiful. And then I think, what are we doing to the environment around us? All those plastic bottles and those cans and those plastic bags we saw, I mean, what are we doing to the world around us? That's why I hope that sometime you might all come out with me and check out nature, and maybe you'll think too that you can help save this beautiful environment around us. Because certainly right now we're not doing that much to help it. It's pretty neat. Wow. Alright, so like I said earlier, the warm season is starting up again. And if you look around, there's a lot of buttes out. So right here, these lavender flowers, they're pretty color. What happens is pollinators and things like bees and moths and all those different types of things, the little critters come out here and they pollinate these flowers. So what happens, it's an example of mutualism, which is a type of symbiosis. So the bees, what happens is they get the nectar, and then all these little flowers right here, they get
the nature in America is actually the oh God. No. I need this after this horrible day working with that capital. Hey.
That was some more pollution that you saw there. You can see if rocks and stuff and other things that contain nutrients are coming through there. Something.
Fertilizer.
Oh shit. How cool it is. Like, it's so neat all the things that go on every day in nature, and sometimes we don't take enough time to think and just think about what's going on around us. So, wow, this is such a beaut. I think.
Yeah, fascist pigs.